Erik, once again today, did we see two sides of your Manchester United team? A team that occasionally can self-harm, but a team that also can find in it the fight to come back against adversity?
Yes, definitely. We have a team who's resilient and character, and we want to win. And twice we fought back from losing positions, but we come in losing positions, and that's totally unnecessary. We lose 3 times balls in areas where you should not lose those balls. There we were not always good organized, especially over the right side. There came some gaps, and the opposition to benefit from it. And we should have done this better.
Particularly in the first half, were you fortunate perhaps to go in at half-time with just that goal deficit, given the amount of chances that Bournemouth were creating? And Erik, what do you think is behind the fact that your players are allowing the opposition to have that amount of freedom?
First of all, it was, I just explained, we lose balls in position. Like the first goal, it was actually very good set up our sides, but then we lose control of the ball. And then, of course, then it's still not a goal, and it should not happen, even that goal. But it's about taking control of the ball there. And there were 2-3 more occasions where we should have dealt better with the ball. And then the second point is, over the right side, we had problems to stop them. And there were clear jobs to do there. And it was not always be done in the first half. And then you get problems. Second half was better. We took more responsibility, and then we closed the side. It had also to do in the back line. Harry Maguire was struggling in the first half. We were very pleased he overcame, because we don't have centre halves anymore. And then you see second half, his leadership's coming in, he's guiding, and then we are more closed.
You've been very honest there and said that your team did make mistakes today. When we spoke before the game, it was about individuals cutting out mistakes. Were these collective mistakes today, or was it individuals? Individual
mistakes, like the ball losses, and we have players they can do better with the ball. What I say over the right side, just go with your opponent. That is your job, and close it. And it's a small part in it. It's about collaboration, but the main part is discipline.
Clearly, you want to eradicate these mistakes. You're spending plenty of time with your coaching staff up at Carrington trying to do that. Is this something that's going to take time, or is it something that you can do more immediately? Because no team has now faced more shots per Premier League game than your side this season.
Yeah, but now we had twice the same backline. And these players, they gave everything and they gave their maximum. And they are young, they are sometimes inexperienced. To do it every game in the tough Premier League, they have to get used to it, but that is the demand of Manchester United. And they have to deal with it. Every opponent is so eager to win versus us. And you have seen also today, I'm sure, Bournemouth, they went to their limits. And every opponent will go to their limits against us. But we have to take and to go against them, to show resistance, and we have to control it and we have to dominate it.
As you've said there was a distinct improvement in the second half. You made the change with Garnacho taken off. What did you send out? What words did you say to your players to send them out with at the start of that second half?
Second half, there were 2 things. Stay in the formation, in possession, and don't get erratic, because we will create. Bournemouth gave a lot of space also away. And the second is do your job in the defending part.
What does this result do today for those ambitions that you held and we spoke about before the game of still trying to catch Aston Villa and Spurs?
This is not enough. We know that. We know when you're coming into the final stage of the season, this is not enough. But the truth is, today we didn't deserve more. And maybe in the end. But if you allow them so many chances in the first half, then as a team you don't deserve more. You have to take control, don't allow them the chances, take control of the game and score goals for yourself.
And just finally, Erik, football is not easy. Nobody has a magic wand. patience is a word that's used a lot. Do people have to be patient with your young players, this team, the direction you're going, and you yourself?
Yeah, it's up to them, but it's the truth. We, in this moment, with all the problems we have, we play to our levels. And we can play very good to our levels when everyone is top on, but you have to do it over the course of the game till stoppage time. And the last 4 games, we dropped points where we often were in winning position. Not today. We were in losing position and we fought back.
Erik, appreciate your time.
It says Erik ten Hag, and also there's a little bit of a reading between the lines. What do you expect our team to do with the amount of injuries we have right now, particularly, I suppose, at the back with Martinez, Shaw, Varane, Lindelof all missing? If they're playing, is the first goal you would expect to be avoidable today, is he?
Yeah, and I think there's the first goal was the epitome of both teams. I think this is Manchester United. I'd say a little bit naive in this area. Bournemouth went man for man, and in here there's quite a lot to break down, but they lose the ball really cheaply, and this is where we flip it onto Bournemouth and go Solanke, you know, ruthless. And the way that Bournemouth play, they turn the ball over, they attack, they score. But there's a few bits in this. If you watch the ball as it goes up to Højlund, where's the communication to say bring it down? You do not need to try and chest that first time into the path of Garnacho. This bit of skill here from Solanke, so clean, powerful through the goal. But this is the picture which epitomises Bournemouth. They have gone player for player. This is your centre-back that's come in, and as the ball has gone over his head, he's the one that then wins the ball. This is a bit where Højlund needs to keep hold of it, and this is where they nick it. And if I just rewind it a little bit in here,
they're brave, aren't they, Izzy?
They're
so
really
brave.
brave.
Football.
But it's the trade-off with the way that they play, and they're so comfortable in it. If you look at the distance between Senesi and Dalot here, that's bizarre. That's a centre-back and that's a full-back. But they're so comfortable in their roles, extremely well coached by the looks of things.
Yep.
But if you just watch Lewis Cook in here, he's the one that actually ends up as a centre midfielder covering the space to allow Senesi, whose attributes allow him to be front foot and to win the ball. And what they think about doing as soon as they win it is, can we attack? But from Manchester United's perspective in here, I'm like, just keep the ball. You do not need to force it. And then this bit is just purely Solanke.
Because that's exposing a weakness, isn't it, that they have at the back?
Absolutely. Yeah, they've just gone straight down the side, that area between Dalot, the whole game in the first half especially, and then they got their just rewards.
But they did fight back. They did show character, get back in the game, Jamie.
Yeah, it was a scruffy goal. But sometimes, you know, you're away from home, you're struggling, you're 1-0, you're not in exactly the most confident mood as it is. Bruno's heavily involved in this game, in this goal. He's always moving, always on the move, trying to get something there. And they don't pick him up. If you just watch him there, number 8, no player really attracts himself to him. It's too easy from Manchester United's point of view. The ball falls him, too easy. There's no one really getting close enough. And that's what he does ever so well, Bruno. But when you see it, Senesi's trying to get back with him. He's almost then got to go, OK, where is he again? Let me just get man per man. Let me try and stop him. But it's almost like that. It's 2-3 yards, always, never anyone close enough to him. That is another element of luck. It pops up lovely for him. And he dispatches it well with his left foot. You know, it's a decent strike. But it was one that they needed because they weren't really in the game. They weren't free-flowing, and Bournemouth looked a better side.
Remember, he hit the bar just before half-time. A really good strike from outside the area, but it was Bournemouth that took the lead into the interval because of the terrific effort from Justin Kluivert. Always have to work hard to get the first name and not say Patrick Kluivert.
I played against his dad. His dad could play, and this kid's not bad either.
Well, he showed some really nimble feet here.
I'll come back to it. I want to come back to something about Man United setup in a second, but let's just look at it from Bournemouth's point of view here, because it's a good piece of play. They moved the ball really well. They get into a really good area. Like Izzy said, you're trying to find little weaknesses in teams and how you can exploit that. Now, I'll just take that back. Yeah, that's not too bad. You can see there that Willy Kambala is now pointing. He realises he's got a bit of a problem. Could Garnacho maybe do better just to stop that ball getting played into Justin Kluivert's feet? He doesn't do enough. For me, he's got to try and work that, check his shoulder, look what's behind you. Can I scan? Can I screen? He doesn't do it well enough. Dalot's obviously got a problem because he's got the left winger out here. And what I would say to Willy Kambala in that situation, if you're not sure, there's too big a gap, obviously, between Harry Maguire as well. You've just got to go to him. He's your man. Go and get close to him. He doesn't. He's trying to point, and by that time, it's too late. Now you've got a problem because a player is going to pick up speed, get into the box. He wants to shift it onto his right foot really well, like he does, and then reverse it very quickly into the corner and the near post.
We were saying about the role of Casemiro in all of this, because
when
it unfolds, we had an excellent discussion off air about it. When the centre back is in control of the players in front of him, so that the point you made about Garnacho coming across the ball. That's the communication, OK? Get in line of the ball, right shoulder. You're screaming from behind, right shoulder, right shoulder. As soon as Casemiro, the centre midfielder,
this is what I was going to talk
about.
This is it for me. So, Casemiro now. Here's your two midfield players. Now, I think about Man United at their best. Engine rooms. I think about Keane, Scholes, players like that who will get around people. This is the engine room right now. You've got Mainu and you've got Casemiro. And why I said I'm a big fan of his. Obviously, some of the things he's doing is incredible. But look, couple of things. One, how deep they are, and look at also how passive they are and how easy it is. And because nobody's showing any aggression, because there's a midfield player there, you could maybe go and press in and go and get close to him. They don't. And just keep your eye on Casemiro now. Ball gets played out to him. Now he can see a problem. He now decides to walk. Now, why are you walking there? Why are you walking? There's things happening so quickly. You've realised that. I'm thinking now, Rodri, I'm thinking Declan Rice, two of the best sort of players in that position. Are they going to be walking there when they know that he's now got to go and face him in a one-on-one situation as quickly as he can? Why is he not thinking, I want to come across and help my mate? He's 19 years of age. You've got experience. You've won Champions Leagues. Just as it carries on now, look, he's still walking. Now he decides, OK, I'll get into a bit of a jog. Now, look how close he is when he's going to shoot. There. If he would have ran or had just decided to just change pace a little bit, he would have blocked that.
Is there not also the point, Jamie, we're talking about protecting a 19-year-old centre-back in Willy Kambwala, is there not also the point that Dalot outside him is making his 100th Premier League appearance for Manchester United? He's got Harry Maguire, who's played in countless big games for Manchester United and England behind him, and a European Cup winner in Casemiro in front of him. Should they not be communicating with him to tell him where he should be going?
No, you can't. That's too late there. I don't agree with that. He has to see that danger first of all. So he's made a mistake. But what I'm just on about is the culture of just running and sprinting and helping your teammates. And I watched Casemiro at times today, and I have watched him for many years, and he's one of my favourite defensive midfield players in world football. I've loved watching him play. But right now, I watch him. It looks like he's in Soccer Aid. It looks like he's playing at such a pace where the game it's a bit of fun and, there's celebrities coming on the pitch. No, this is the Premier League. You've got so much experience, and that isn't really a case of anything else apart from running. And I think to myself, Rodri, what would Rodri do in that situation? He'd have been flying out there to help his teammates. And you should be doing, and I don't know why. And this is my point with Kobbie Mainoo. Now, he's got everything. He's got the world at his feet. But you need great role models to get to the top. You need people that you're going to look up to and aspire to be like. And at the moment, he's not setting the right examples to the young players around him. And as I say, I'm a massive fan, but that isn't good enough, because if he'd have sprinted, he would have stopped that.
Soccer Aid's harsh. I've seen you play Soccer Aid. I think that's
I was useless in Soccer Aid. I scored a couple of goals, but I couldn't run. That's why I couldn't think of a better analogy.
Fernandez, who Jamie thinks they should be building the team around, equalised from the penalty spot, and then right at the end of the game, there is a crucial moment where Manchester United might have lost this. And the on-field referee decided it was a penalty when Ryan Christie was, I suppose, taken out by Willy Kambwala. Is he? What do you think? VAR have had a very close look. They say contact is outside the box.
And that's what I thought initially. And for me, I stand by that, actually. There's contact, of course, there is. Kambwala's done it. He's had to step, and he stepped at exactly the right time that it's not in the box. 6 inches deeper and it's a penalty stone wall. But Christie's really clever here, the way he nicks the ball past Kambwala. And I think, to be honest, Kambwala's got his body shape wrong. He's square, which means that he actually takes Christie out with his arm. You can't really see it on this picture.
So is that an important,
but the contact...
is that an important point, Izzy, in terms of being a defender in that situation, to try and get yourself side on?
I think he needs to get side on and show him down the line. I think his body shape's a little bit too square. Wasn't a centre-back myself, but I'm just looking at that situation, the way it unfolded, and he's only 19 years old. I don't want to be too harsh on him, but I think he stepped at exactly the right time. If he steps any, slower, it's a penalty.
We'll have another look because, Jamie, just a second. We'll have another look because there was also the other question to consider about whether the infringement continued into the box. Was there maybe a question that Camboala is holding on to him as well?
That's my point with this. This is where they're really lucky, and I'll be interested to see what Dermot Gallagher made on Monday morning on Sky Sports News, how he interprets this one. Because I think once he steps out, it's almost irrelevant because you are still holding him and stopping him running into the box. And that's where I actually thought this wasn't going to get overturned. You can see it's like a rugby tackle. It's like he sticks his left arm out and you're stopping a player getting into that box. It's almost irrelevant whether he's outside the box because he is going to get into the box now, and that left arm comes out and that's where it stops him.
Is it not more of just a shoulder rather than a hold?
Christie runs into him at that point. At that point, I understand what you're saying, there's contact, but, because he's square Camboala and Christie runs into him, you got to say what can Camboala do in that situation. He's going to hit him as he runs into him.
But like you say, you just don't get involved in that situation. Once that left arm comes out, as soon as you do that, you're blocking a player. Yeah. I think he's just got to just run him down the side. But once he's made... And I think Areola, the manager, will say, no doubt at all, that he's stopping him getting into the box.
Before we hear from him, did you say penalty or not penalty? You thought it should have
been penalty? I think I was amazed it got overturned. Look, I get that it's outside the box, but it's still the fact that he's still travelling into the box was my point and why I think it should have been given.
Let's hear from him now then, Andoni Iraola with David Craig.
Andoni, another fascinating game here, but is this a game that perhaps you could be taking more than just 1 point from?
Yeah, obviously we cannot finish happy with the point. It's always you have to give importance to a point against Man United, but I think we were the team that deserves the 3 points. I think we missed chances, especially in the first half. I think we should have gone with a better result, even in the second half. But also the reason we didn't win is because we missed the chances and all the refereeing decision went against us. That's the two main reasons.
It appeared in the first half the 2 goals you scored had a greater degree of difficulty than some of the chances that you didn't take.
Yeah, of course. I think we had a lot of very good, clear chances, I would say. Sometimes Onana, sometimes our bad finishes. We couldn't score more goals. I think we were doing a good game. I think we were playing well. You know that United always finds a way to be dangerous, to score the goals. And when you don't finish this kind of teams, they find a way to score.
2 huge decisions in the game. We'll look at them in isolation. First of all, the handball that you conceded with Adam Smith. What was your view? There was some disagreement of opinion amongst our commentators whether they thought it was or wasn't handball.
I think it's in the rules. No, it comes from a rebound from your own teammate. He doesn't have. It's instinctive. Whatever he does is instinctive. Like he sees the ball, and I think it's as normally they don't call this kind of handballs. If you want to continue with the decisions, I continue.
And then Ryan Christie, there was a big shout from your bench for a penalty. Having had the ability to have a look at it, do you believe it was then the right decision?
Completely, I believe completely. Because if you see the penalty they call us against Newcastle, we start pulling 2 meters outside the box. He goes inside, okay, it's a penalty because it's where... And when he starts first frame, if you put the first frame, it's more probably 1 centimeter outside the box, but he continues stopping the player inside 1-2 meters inside. It's not... And it's in the last moment, it's not just one kick, boom. No, he goes with Ryan Christie 2 meters inside the box.
So clear penalty for you?
For me, it's obvious, but it's not the penalty, so the other penalty is that Kobe Mainoo dives in the first half, it's no yellow card. Second half, Ryan Christie, there is contact, dives, is a yellow card for diving. What does it change? What's the reason in one half is yellow card, in the other half is not yellow card?
I think we're back to a conversation we have with many managing coaches. Consistency, is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, I understand that we are safe, but for us it's very important every point. Very, very, very important. And we are having all the last games, since we are saved, all the last games, all the decisions have gone against us. We've been unlucky, but at the end, we need the same respect that the other teams, that we all are playing for important things. All the teams are playing for important things. And it cost us 1 point for us, a lot of work and hard work. And at the end, it's normal, we demand some consistency.
Can you understand his frustrations?
Yeah, I can. I mean, for me, it's still not a penalty. I think the contact's outside the box, but I mean, I understand what he's saying about the first one and the natural reaction. But, you know, he's a manager who wants to win, and, you know, he sees this as an opportunity to beat, you know, a Manchester United side which is vulnerable at the moment. And, you know, it says a lot that he's come away disappointed.
I don't think... Are we clear here? Should this have been a penalty, Karen?
My initial thought was it was, but obviously watching it back, I think it is there. That's outside, but there's obviously players blocking the line. But I actually think it was the right decision in the end. I thought it was a free kick, to be honest. I know he's going into the box, but the contact with the shoulder looks outside to me. Only just, though. Only just.
So the referee didn't go to the screen because it was a factual decision, so he didn't go and have another look at it. Jared Gillett was the VAR on this occasion. Owen, do you agree? Was that the right decision in the end?
I think in real time it looks like a penalty when you see it full speed. But I think then when you kind of see it there, the initial contact is outside the box. I do think it continues into the box. Paul Kombali had a really tough game. He's probably fortunate he's just outside the box there, and that's why they gave it as a free kick. I think it's really difficult for the referees because it's outside the box. Initially, you can just see there, but there's kind of the first foul, and then he kind of gets in with his shoulder as well, which feels like it's almost in the box. So, but that's why they had the technology to kind of look at it. They thought it was outside the box, and I'm with Karen. I think they probably just about got it right.
Yeah, but it is so close. I mean, they're having to look at it so many times. If they'd given it, you would have understood why as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think it's one of them that if it's given, we're saying that the margins are so small. But we've had to trust the technology and the people at Stockley Park to say they think it's outside. So, look, I have to go with that. But my initial was it was a penalty, and then looking back, I thought maybe it was a free kick, and I think in the end I have to agree, free kick was the right decision.
So Bournemouth not awarded what they thought should have been a penalty. Manchester United earlier on in the very same half. A tale of two penalties in the second half. Man United were awarded this one. Adam Smith handball. Take me through it, Owen.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I think he's really unlucky. Kobe Minor does great, just takes a shot, has a ricochet, and that angle it looks worse, but I do think the proximity, he's very close. When he puts his arm out ever so slightly, I think it's just a reaction as you would do as an athlete. I'm just not a big fan of football matches being decided on things like that. You know, if it's a clear penalty, you know, you don't mind, but I just think to move your arm an inch to the right or not, I just think it's not really, I don't think what football should be decided on. It should be decided on the brilliance of these fabulous players that we watch. The ball comes off somebody a yard away, like what Karen is to me, and then ricochets off. You know, but you could say it's going to fall to Marcus Rashford and you get a clear shot. So I can understand why they give it. I'll be honest, I'm just not a fan of the way the rules written that we're given penalties for those things.
What's your take on it?
Look, if I was a player on there, I'd be gutted and frustrated, and like Owen said, there's not really a lot. It's kind of reactive, but look, the letter of the law and the way the modern game is now is a penalty. So again, I think it was the right decision. Do I sometimes like it? No, I don't. Do I sometimes put myself in the player's position and think it's unfortunate and what else could he do? But like I said, it's the rules now, and we've seen many this season been given, and we understand probably why now.
Yeah, so much more to talk about in this match, which ended 2-2.
Fair play to Bruno. The reason they come away with the point is because of Bruno Fernandes today.
You did say they always seem to find a way, Manchester United.
Well, they drew. I mean, they didn't. If they found a way, they would have won the game. But to be honest, they were probably fortunate to get a point. I just didn't think they hang in there. Karen made the point before. They got a lot of great individuals, and they can have a good day. But I just thought today, Bournemouth performed more as a team, created more. I think had 22 shots. United only had 8. So, you know, there was one team that was kind of consistently attacking. And I just think United still, you're along with 30 games into the season, and it doesn't really look like there's a clear philosophy in terms of style of play.
You mentioned something in the build-up to that second goal that Kambwala should have had a little bit more protection today. Can you explain that to me?
Well, I think all season Manchester United have played very expansive, you know, player for player, you know, I mark you and that's my responsibility, and I don't really help my teammates out as such. And I just think Kobe Mainoo is such a young player for Manchester United. I think he's been brilliant, but he's next to someone like Casemiro, who's extremely experienced, and I thought he had a poor game today, and I think he's had, for his levels, for one of the best midfielders, holding midfielders, that has been around for some time now. I think he's not really helped him, and I think, when you've got a young centre-back that's in the Manchester United team, he needs a bit of cover and support, whether it be from Dalot or from a Casemiro, and I thought he was left too vulnerable, and fair play to Bournemouth, they went, that's the area that we're going to target, and absolutely went for him the whole game.
Yeah, that midfield's been open all season, and I think he tried to play like two defensive midfield players kind of side by side, but the problem is they were literally side by side. One, you need to play a little bit deeper, be closer to Kumbala to help him. I always think, if somebody, you don't want to leave a centre-back on his own. You want to be, like if I played in front of Rio Ferdinand Manjovic, they'd communicate and I'd screen them so the ball couldn't go into the centre forward. The ball went into Solanke so easily, all game, so I do think that's been an issue all season, and I don't know why they're so open, whether they're trying to press too high, but it's been an issue, that midfield balance all season.
I mean, you said earlier, I think it was in the green room, about being connected when you played. You were always so connected, and you mentioned it there to Rio and that, but does it look like they're ever connected as a team?
I mean, look at Dalot's hands up. He was like, why are we so open? So I think it's been an issue and everybody can see it.
Yeah, I feel like we could talk about this for a while still, but it is the end of a busy day in the Premier League, and it ended off with 4 goals at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth 2, Man United 2. Thank you to Karen. Thank you to Owen. Great to be watching football with all of you. See you next time. Bye-bye. A day of goals galore in the Premier League. We've seen 4. We saw 4 in one match. Newcastle beating Tottenham to start off the day. Brentford got a victory over Sheffield United as well. All square between Burnley and Brighton. And then Manchester City moved to the top of the Premier League with a 5-1 win over Luton. Nottingham Forest and Wolves all square. Same scoreline as Bournemouth and Manchester United. Liverpool and Arsenal will try to do the business tomorrow after City did their job earlier today. Liverpool play Crystal Palace, and then Arsenal are in action at home against Aston Villa. West Ham's battle with Fulham is also at 2 p.m. here in the UK. We've got one match on Monday night, and that's Chelsea's battle with Everton. Let's look at the Premier League, especially the top. There have been some movements today, some changes, including Man City going all the way to the top of the standings, 2 points clear now of Arsenal and of Liverpool as well. Aston Villa in 4th, and Spurs remain level after that defeat to Newcastle, who move into 6th place. Manchester United have dropped, despite getting a point, into 7th. West Ham, Chelsea and Brighton round out the top 10 in the Premier League. Bottom half of the table sees Luton, Burnley and Sheffield United still in trouble after results today. Nottingham Forest are in 17th, just 1 point behind Everton.
Now, congratulations on your goal, Dominic. I'm guessing, though, that there is disappointment that you didn't manage to see it through for a victory?
Yeah, for sure. Going into the game, we were confident. We knew it was going to be a tough game, but we told ourselves that we'd beaten them already this season, so we knew we could do it again. I think especially in the first half, we created a lot of chances. Should have probably been 2-3 goals up, but we didn't quite manage to take those chances in the first half, and the second half it was a tight game.
And of course, the Bournemouth fans have gone away, and those watching on TV tonight, Dominic, are probably shouting at the television saying, why was that not a penalty? Of course, the award was made on the field, and then it was taken away after the VAR check showed that it was perhaps just outside. But you had a great view of it. What was your take on it?
To be fair, I haven't looked at it back properly, but looking on the big screen, it did look like it was on the line, so I'm not sure. I think it could have possibly been a penalty, but it was unlucky not to get it in the end. Thought it was going to be the opportunity to win it at the end, but it didn't go our way.
How disappointed were the boys about that, Dominic?
Yeah, obviously not happy. To beat Man United is always something that we would love to do. So obviously that would have been a great chance for us to win it at the end. But the boys are obviously bit gutted about that.
Dominic, Jamie Redknapp, want to talk about that goal, mate. It was a good one. You've scored a lot of good ones this year. I think it encapsulated everything about you, your pace, your power, your finesse. Are we showing that, or...?
We're actually looking at the penalty this minute.
Sorry, Dominic, can you see anything there? Sorry, mate, this is the beauty of live TV. I'm sorry, big man.
I see it now.
But I want to talk about your goal. When you got one-on-one with Kambuala and then you used that pace and power you had, did you realise that I'm in a really good position here? Was it one of the best goals you've got this season?
Yeah, definitely. I don't score too many from that range, so it's nice to get one of those. But yeah, I knew that I started the game well. I managed to get the ball, and I saw him slip out the corner of my eye. And yeah, I saw that space in front of me, and I just had one thought on my mind, and yeah, it was a good finish.
And 17 goals this season. Start of the year, when the way things, new manager coming in, did you think this was possible?
Football's crazy sometimes. Obviously, I probably wouldn't have thought that I would have scored this many this season. But we've been great this season as a team. The manager's been great since he's come in, and I've managed to get quite a few chances this season. Probably a lot more than last season with this style of play. So it suited me, and I've benefited from that.
You've got the Euros, obviously, in the summer, and I'm sure you've been asked this a lot. The Bournemouth Echo, I remember it well. Everyone wants to know, what are your feelings on it right now? Do you think it's a bit of a shootout between yourself, Watkins and Ivan Toney, or you just got your eyes on just thinking, I'm going to score as many goals for Bournemouth and see where it takes me at the end of the season?
Yeah, obviously, I would love to be there. I think everyone would love to be there. Playing for your country in a big tournament like that is everyone's dream. But yeah, like you said, I just need to keep scoring, try to get as many as I can from now to the end of the season, and yeah, hopefully I can be in with a shout.
Dominic, I want to ask you a little bit about the manager. Since he's come in, how's he, what's he changed in the intensity of the way that you guys play? What are the key differences, and how's it been playing under him?
Yeah, it's been great. I think we had a bit of a slow start adapting to the style of play, but I think with the players that we have, I think it suits us like a glove. We've got a lot of hard-working players in the team, and we like to press high up the pitch. And I think a lot of the goals we've scored this season has come from that, so it's definitely benefited us. And yeah, like I said, it's great for me with us pressing so high up the pitch, because we win the ball back a lot, and that creates chances for me as well.
Just a final thought, Dominic, on playing against Manchester United, a team that for so long were dominating English football, but have slipped away recently. You've had 20 shots against them, your team, today. Do you feel that when you're playing against them, they're going to give you a chance, or it's easy to create chances against them?
I think, like I mentioned earlier, we're such a confident side this season. We believe going into most of the games that if we're on our game, then we'll definitely create chances. Obviously, United's a big club, but we've done well against them in both games this season, so it shows how well we can do on our day. Like I mentioned, they're a great team, so for us to create that many chances shows how good we've been.
And just before we let you go, Dominic, actually we're going to start our analysis by looking at the penalty that Adam Smith gave away early in the second half. But what was he saying about that? Did he feel a little bit hard done by?
Yeah, obviously, I haven't seen it back properly, but he's obviously not happy. It's never nice giving away a penalty. But yeah, sometimes in football, these things happen. Like I said, I haven't really managed to see it back yet, but yeah, I'm sure he'll be annoyed about it anyway. You've
handled the interview beautifully, Dominic. Congratulations on another goal, another point.
Well done, Dominic.
And we wish you well for the rest of the season, and of course, hopefully for the Euros as well.
Thank you, appreciate it, guys. Take care.
As Dominic Solanke helped his team are asking, and here is the updated top scorers chart for this season. A penalty for Haaland today. Solanke up to 17, 2 for Alexander Isak today as well. And when we think about English options, Ollie Watkins, Solanke, Cole Palmer trying to force his way into the squad as well. Let's just change this graphic on and show you the options that Gareth Southgate has. Harry Kane, of course, will be going. Who else should be on the plane, is he?
Well. I mean, Solanke's form's terrific. He's been unstoppable. But for me, if we're talking about Solanke going to the Euros, I wonder why he wasn't at the last international window for Gareth Southgate and his staff to have a look at him.
You think it's too late for him then?
Possibly.
It's a great point. Why don't you just have a look at him? Why don't you just go and let him see what he's like in that company?
I think you look at Ollie Watkins and even Toney are very different players. And if the squad sizes do get increased to 26, I think there's definitely poses a question. How many of those strikers can Gareth Southgate take? Can he take Toney and Watkins? Does Solanke sneak in? I'm not sure, but I would like to have thought that if he was in the plans, he would have been looked at in the last.
Cole Palmer has to go.
Ivan Toney's had a longer run up, Jamie. He's had a couple of years.
He's been on the bench the last 2 games. He's obviously got a little bit carrying a bit of a knock at the moment.
But I was going to ask, is Dominic Solanke at the wrong club?
That's a great question, because if he was getting those kind of numbers at, as an example, his former club Liverpool, it is different. You know, once you go to a top 4, top 6 club and you're playing regularly, England call-ups come. Whether that's right or wrong, that might go against him. And it's extremely harsh, because I'm seeing a player that is in the top of his game, at the top of his game. He's doing everything right now. Headers, individual goals, tap-ins. He's been brilliant.
Forget Jared Bowen for now, Jamie. He can play as a wide forward as well. You're taking Harry Kane. You can have one of Solanke, Tony, Watkins. Who's going?
Sorry? I think I'm losing the signal here. Oh, my goodness, David. It's your 50th birthday. You're asking the hard questions today, aren't you? Between Solanke... So right now the squad is 22. 23, isn't it?
23. Yes.
And it might change to...
Could well go to 26. This 26. Is what all the coaches are campaigning for.
Of course they are, because the tough decisions you're going to have to make. Izzy makes a great point. The fact that Dominic didn't go in the last squad certainly counts against him. I think Ivan Toney, in the last game, obviously scored the penalty, and I would say he did better than Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins is a bit more
Final
mobile.
Word,
I think he's going to go with Ivan Toney.
We're going off stats. We're going off stats. Southgate and his staff are going off everything else. How they conduct themselves around the team, what they're like for team morale, the culture, everything around that. That will have something to play in it.
Thank you. We've got a party to go to. Thank you very much.
Not invited.
Who are you taking? Who would you take out of the three?
What, Tony, because
Tony Watkins.
to the party. To Dave's 50th.
You didn't invite me to your party.
To Dave's 50th.
Yeah, 50th. Who would you take?
I think Tony's got to be in the question just purely for his penalties.
It's really difficult.
And Watkins, I'd take Watkins.
Yeah.
I'm Derek Ray. I'm joined for commentary by former Arsenal fullback Lee Dixon. And without doubt, a match with the potential to bring genuine excitement. It's Luton Town taking on Chelsea.
Hi, Derek, thank you. Well, both managers will be reminding their players how important...
Well, it could be on for him here. Is it going to be? Keeper getting the touch. And it's gone behind for the corner. Over it comes. Did his job defensively. And they'll get ready for the throw-in. Pearson. So after that, a goal kick it'll be. Well, pick your adjective where Hakim Ziyech is concerned. Explosive, I think, might be an approach. Can they take the lead here? And mistimed the run, sadly. That's offside. Throw-ins given. This looks promising.
Well, it's the care and attention, all that works.
And a blunder by the keeper. Werner. Promising attack, but his timing was off. Well, they've lost possession of the ball. Nicely cut out. Oh, that's an interesting pass. Ziyech. In it goes. An early goal. No wonder they're celebrating.
Well, as we look at this again, the keeper's every right to ask where his back line was, but 2v1 in the end. He's thinking now, is he going to pass or go round me? He's got no chance.
Well, real difficulty keeping the ball. Ball's gone.